The forest may have been dead for 150 million years, but the Patagonian wind is still very much alive, and it's looking for a fight. In this episode, my eastern detour pays off as I get close up with some ancient trees in the Jaramillo Petrified Forest National Park before swinging west through Argentinian oil country to Perito Moreno and then rejoining Ruta 40 to continue north. Day 96 arrives under a sky that's clearly mislaid its enthusiasm, although my own remains intact. Hotels attached to petrol stations rarely promise delight, but YPF Tres Cerros turns out to be a magnificent subversion of the genre. A good room, a decent meal, and a price so low it feels faintly illegal. Everything you could hope for from a roadhouse in the middle of nowhere. Today's main attraction, and the reason I've wandered into this unlikely corner of Patagonia at all, is the Bosques Petrificados de Jaramillo National Park, or the Jaramillo Petrified Forest National Park in the Queen's English. It's a deeply peculiar place, stranded in a landscape so strange it looks as though the planet is still under construction. From here, the approach involves 40 k's of Ruta 3, followed by another 50 on gravel to reach the National Park's Visitor Centre. First, the gravel behaves itself, possibly out of respect for the trucks heading to a nearby sandpit. But the moment I cross the threshold of the national park itself, the road loses its manners. The surface loosens, the scenery sharpens, and the drama makes its entrance. After a brief transit through a landscape that oscillates between the high deserts of Arizona and a deleted scene from a low-budget Martian epic, I arrive at the Visitor Centre. The park was established in 1954 to protect the remains of the Araucaria mirabilis, trees that were already venerable when the late Jurassic was in full swing. 150 million years is a long time ago, yet some of these trunks look as if a bloke with a chainsaw was here last Tuesday. It's difficult to convey on camera, but the Patagonian wind is currently performing its signature routine with unnecessary vigour, and given the light is about as photographic as the inside of a coal cellar, I decide not to linger and push on instead. First, it's a bit of backtracking to find the reassuring tether of Ruta 3 before aiming my handlebars north towards the diminutive settlement of Fitz. Closer to the main road, the weather obligingly improves, and just in time for me to surprise a family of guanaco. The parents depart with Olympic speed in opposite directions, leaving their offspring in a state of existential confusion as to which branch of the family tree to follow. Back on Ruta 3, it's an easy 90-odd k's of smooth tarmac to Fitz. I'd planned to keep the day short in case the park road turned nasty, but since it didn't, I now find myself with an abundance of time and a lack of things to do, a rare luxury on the road. The endless flatness eventually resolves itself into the outskirts of Fitz. Compared to today's Cerros, it's practically metropolitan, but once again I'm happy to accept the modest charms and agreeable prices of a YPF hotel. Day 97 marks the end of my eastern Patagonian detour. Today I swing west again towards the town of Perito Moreno. It's a name synonymous with the famous glacier, though the town itself is neither icy nor nearby. Both are named for the explorer Francisco Moreno, a man who clearly had a very busy travel agent.
I lived high and dry, hardly a sacrifice. This I know, this I know, this I know. But what do I know? What do I know? Where do I go? Where do I go? Falling to pieces, oh, into the deep end, oh. Give me a reason, oh, stick around.
The first town on the route, a spect named Pico Truncado, announces my arrival in Argentina's oil country. It's no boomtown, but oil has been extracted here long enough to justify a roundabout petro museum, a civic flourish you don't see every day.
Light up the stick tonight.
Out the other side, and a police checkpoint confirms the now familiar theme of official indifference. Just as I'm reflecting on the spectacle of law enforcement officers with absolutely nothing to enforce, a flash of scarlet catches my eye, a Gauchito Hill shrine. Despite having been back in Argentina for over a week, this is the first one I've encountered. And if you want to know more about Gauchito Hill, you'll have to check out episode 2.
What do I know? Where do I go? Where do I go?
Oil town number 2, Las Heras, marks the last outpost of civilization before Patagonia resumes its usual programming for the final 170 k's to Perito Moreno. The scenery grows emptier, and the wind, as if sensing weakness, begins to wind itself up for a proper performance. The meagre altitude I've enjoyed recently collapses quickly into a river valley. It offers a momentary reprieve from the wind, which has decided to increase its velocity while simultaneously dropping the temperature just to be spiteful. But the relief doesn't last long, and I'm soon back on the exposed plain. Climbing out of the next valley, the wind turns genuinely aggressive. I've danced with the Patagonian wind before, but usually it has the courtesy to push from just one direction. Today, however, it's a swirling chaotic mess, making every moment a guessing game. Eventually, it's strong enough that slowing down becomes a matter of self-preservation. Weeks ago I'd heard stories of bikers stranded for days because the wind made riding impossible. After today, I'm inclined to believe them. Following several moments where I felt my wheels were merely suggestions on the tarmac, I'm very glad to roll into Perito Moreno. The town's trees offer a windbreak of sorts, even if this is paired with what may be the most vicious speed bump in South America. Turning left, I'm briefly puzzled by the police beat, until a flurry of gestures reveals the issue: South America's characteristically understated approach to one-way signage. It's all very friendly, however, with a quick U-turn mending my criminal record. And I was planning to turn around here anyway, because my hotel is right here.
See the smoke from a cherry bowl circulates through. Hear the air, well, let's kiss your photograph. Feel our hearts attack.
Day 98, and I'm feeling notably refreshed after an entirely unapologetic rest day at the agreeable Hotel Americano. Today, I rejoin Ruta 40 and continue north, and mercifully the wind has decided to take the day off as well, so the 358 k's to Gobernador Costa should be pleasant enough. Ruta 40 is technically paved throughout this stretch, although rumours suggest that occasional pothole slalom remains part of the experience.
All around, new love's frozen, summer blood is flowing, true colors show. All around, look at all the free feathers scattered on the ground, falling from a mile high. They never made a sound. Hear the air, well, let's kiss your photograph. Feel our hearts attach. Flip the hourglass and take some power back. Fear turns into ash tonight. New love's frozen.
Back on the plateau, I cross the invisible line from Santa Cruz into Chubut province. It seems a dignified enough occasion to launch the drone and capture the scale of my own insignificance.
New love's frozen, summer blood is flowing, true colors showing all around. There's so much magic in the moments unraveling, the fruits and flowers, all the blossoms of earth. If I go
Drone fun is cut short when Ruta 40 serves its pothole appetizer. It's nothing the bike can't handle, but it's enough to make the car drivers look like they're trying to navigate a minefield in a fog.
accepting the offering, we're working hard to deserve, protecting the property you will never find in a hollow ground. New love is frozen, summer blood is flown.
In a now familiar pattern, I descend into another valley town, this time Rio Mayo. And after the wind I've experienced in recent days, settling low to the ground seems like a sensible local strategy, but the river probably helps too.
True colors show all around.
As is the law in South America, a good road surface is a temporary gift. A stretch of shallow potholes forces otherwise fearless Argentine drivers into cautious weaving, while I enjoy the quiet satisfaction of gliding past, courtesy of motorcycle suspension and a 21-inch front wheel. Fortunately, this less than ideal section is brief, which will no doubt comfort the car drivers once they actually get here, but for me, it's the final run into Gobernador Costa.
Yeah, tonight, oh, I'll see you tonight.
just outside town, there's a noticeable hint of green. It's subtle, only a rumour of vegetation, but it's the first I've seen since leaving Chile, and suggests that my time in Patagonia's dry heartland may be nearing its end. Gobernador Costa arrives without ceremony, and as the only settlement of any significance for miles around, it will do nicely as my stop for the day. Hills, gravel, bridges, mountains, dust, forests, lakes, and Gauchito Hill versus Santa Claus.